So I'll be using JavaScript function to validate a login detail, whereby I'm going to give it an argument that if a particular login is correct, it should display welcome, or if those logins are not correct, it should tell that user that so login is not correct. So what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to be displaying this with console.log. So the first thing I need to do is come over to our HTML page. I will generate this. I'll just call it admin login. I'll call it admin login. So I'll come down here now and I'll just link my JavaScript. Although I've not created a JavaScript, but then let me create the JavaScript. I'll just say JavaScript .js. Okay, so this is our JavaScript page. So let us link it now. And I'll just say script source. I will put javascript.js. So let's move over now to our JavaScript. So first thing I'm going to do on this particular page now is to create a variable. I will say let's enter username equal. So I'm going to use the prompt function so that the user can automatically himself put in this particular detail. So I'll just say prompt. Inside here, I will say enter username. So I will also create for password. I will also create a variable for the password. I will say let's enter password equal prompt enter your password. All right. So let us see. Let me show you the work of this prompt function. Let me show you. You see, this is the work of this prompt function. It's going to give you a section where you are going to enter this yourself. Mind you that this particular login is not in the HTML. We're just doing it from the JavaScript. Everything is on the JavaScript. So, so right now I'm going to create a function to handle this particular details. So I'll just say function. I will name it login. I will give the function name will be login. Then I'm going to create two parameters. This parameter now, one will be username, and then the other one will be password. The reason why I'm creating these two parameters is that I'm going to assign the username and the password to these parameters inside this function, inside the login function. So I will put my curly brackets. The reason why I'm using this function is so that even if we want to call it in any other place, we can always call this particular function. So I will say if entered username, I will just say if entered username equals username. If it equals username, I will come up again with another logic because I want to check the two conditions. I'm checking the two conditions. So because I'm checking the two conditions, I have to give it two conditions at a time. So I will also say if entered password I say if entered password equals password, then I can now pass conditions now. I will say console.log welcome welcome. So what I just did now, look at the logic. I am telling this particular function that if the entered username is the same thing with the username in this function, and then the entered password is the same thing with this password in the function, let it welcome the user. Normally, if we are doing a real-time project, it's supposed to redirect them to another page, which is the dashboard, most likely. So, but then if this password is not correct, if this password is not correct, so I'll just say s console.log invalid password. So what it simply means now is if this password is not correct, you should tell the person that he has entered an invalid password. And but if the username and the password is correct, you should tell the person welcome. You should tell the person welcome. So what I need to do now is s, because I need to check condition for this username also. Else console.log invalid username. So look at the conditions now. This condition now is meant to check this particular login function. Okay, it is meant to check this particular login function. So what do I need to do now? I need to call the function. Mind you that for this function now to be effective, I need to call it outside this function. So I'll just say login. Then I can assign values to this variable. I can assign values to this variable in the parameter, or the parameters, I can assign values to them. So what I'll need to do is I will say username, I'll call it admin. Then the password, I'll call it 1234. Okay, because I am assigning numbers to this password, it's something I'm supposed to do. But for just for practical purposes, because it is number, I'll just come here, I will say number. There are better ways of doing this, but then since this is just for practical purpose, I'll just say number, and then I will close it. All right, so that it will recognize it as number, so that the value can recognize it as number. Okay, you have to recognize it as number because it's number. So since I have called this function out, now we can check it. Okay, so let me cancel and then refresh it. So I can say admin. I can say 1234. Then let me check. Let's inspect it. Did you see it? Welcome. So let us do it again. Let's this time let the username be wrong. I'll just say admin 56. And then the password will be correct. Let us check all the conditions. It said invalid username. So let the username now be correct. And then let the password be wrong. You see it, invalid password. So this is how to use JavaScript to check logins. There are other things you can add on, depending on what you want to achieve. But this is just the basic way of, checking login details, that kind of thing, just to check login details. So, but there are better ways you can do it where you need to extract it from the database, those kind of stuffs. But then we are not actually in that now. I'm just trying to show you the basic JavaScript way of trying to check logins if they are correct.